All right, so by request, I posted on the Economy Creators business page on Facebook. Give me two pairs for the week, and I will go ahead and do a video markup analysis on them. The first two pairs that was given to me are the first ones that we're going to do, and those pairs were pound yen and pound CAD. This video is strictly about pound yen. So what I'm going to do is just go through and mark it up how I see it. I'm not going to explain much. That comes with my mentorship program. But I'm going to mark it up the charts how I see it and then give you the move that I say that I'm going to be taking on this pair if I'm going to trade it. So when I first start with any pair, I always start with the monthly and work my way down to the hour, the 15-minute, or the 5-minute, but definitely from the monthly down to the hour time frame chart. That way you get to see the bigger picture of what price is trying to do on the larger time frame, and you use the small time frame to make up the small movements that's going to create the completion of whatever you see on the monthly. So here's the monthly time frame, and what I am seeing right off the bat looks to be like a bearish Gartley. Just because anybody that knows my trading style, I always pretty much started off with harmonics. So I'm seeing the bearish Gartley here, so I'm just going to draw that out. And the bearish Gartley means that upon completion of this pattern, price will sell. Now, if you want more information on how to trade harmonics, that comes with my mentorship program, where you can go on the internet and do your own research and find it out for yourself. But this is a bearish Gartley. Okay, so right now we have the Gartley trying to complete the C to the D leg, which is a bullish rise, right? But it is a overall bearish pattern. Okay, now we're going to go down to the weekly. And on the weekly, what I'm seeing here is a bearish bat. I'm going to draw that out for you. Let's see, I forgot if I had it from here. I did. Okay, so you can actually even put it here. Either way, it's still going to be a bearish bat, but that's not clean enough for me. This is more clean. It's going to make more sense when I put the completion of the pattern point D and where that would end up. So this is a bearish bat. Same thing. Once it completes, it means that price will sell. And here you have your bearish bat. So, of course, as we see here, price is also trying to complete the C to D leg. It's not ironic that it's doing the same thing on the daily on that bigger pattern this here. Now, we're going to drop down to the daily time frame. I think the guy that mentioned to me he wanted this pair marked up, he told me he was looking at the daily. So on the daily time frame, what I see here is a nice Elliott wave taking place, and I'm going to chart out that wave. So this would be the origin of the wave, aka the bearish wave going down. There's your origin. Here's your point 1. Okay, here's your corrective wave, point 2, that went against the move, which was a buying wave. Here's your wave 3, impulse wave. Your corrective wave 4. And then your last final impulse wave down, which was the 5. Right there, I'll kind of do that. So now what you have is that it's going to start doing its corrective wave. So that's what you have forming right now. So you have your corrective wave, which is hitting up right here. It's establishing itself right now. And then you're going to have a push down to make point B. It's going to fall about right here. And then you're going to have it push up to point C. And now I mapped these out earlier, but and how I'm pretty much getting A, B, and C is just strictly the use of my fib. Pull it out to where point A would be at right now. Point B is typically going to hit somewhere no lower than the 618. You see how it firmly hits along the 618. So it's going to either hit here or hit slightly above it right there. Now, how do I get point C? It's strictly by doing what the move of A, B. So if A is here and B is here, point C, you see it's sitting like right there on the 50. All right. So that's how I got those 2 points. So I actually kind of did them right on the money without actually pulling without actually having price there to tell me so. So that's what you have right now on the daily. You have a bearish Elliott wave, and you pretty much have completed all the impulse moves. Now you're doing the corrective wave, which goes against the trend. So if this is a bearish Elliott wave, then this pattern is starting to move it up, as you will see. It's going to move it up. It's going to come down, then go back up. All right, so once that corrective wave completes, then you can just go ahead and resume what we already were looking at on the weekly time frame, which was the completion of the C to the D leg, as well as the monthly time frame saying the same thing. But nonetheless, those are the bigger time frames. So right now, you want to see what's currently happening. So again, we've been selling, and now we're in the midst of a corrective wave. We're establishing point A right now, which once it establishes point A and completes establishing that point, because it could be right now or it could be, in a few more pips going up before it starts to drop down. So let's go to the 4 hour to make more sense of that. So on the 4 hour, I am seeing a pattern, and this pattern looks to be, I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, okay. So the pattern that I'm seeing right now, it looks to be a bearish bat, but we can only make that assumption once we plot our fibs. Give me 1 second here. Responding to a text really quickly. So, all right, here's the fib. All right. So, like I said, as a bearish bat would be, we will only have part of that bat being formed right now, but you do have what you need for the start of your bearish bat. Price could come as high as the 50, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. That's where like A could ultimately end up, or it does not have to, but typically you would want to see price hit somewhere around the 382 or the 50. So price right now is above the 382, like it's going towards the 50. If it clears this out, we're looking for it to hit the 50 before it retraces down. So as I would call it, like I said, this would be a bat. See how it stops at the B? It would stop there and then buy up to the 886. So right now, I would say this a bearish bat on the 4 hour is getting ready to complete the A to B leg. So that will be, because this is your X, A, I'm sorry, it would be B to C on the harmonic pattern. Because on the harmonic pattern it's X, A, B, C, D. Now, of course, upon completion of this one as well, it's a bearish pattern. Price would drop from here. And if you think about it, go back to the daily, it's going to drop and come around and hit your point C. Now, price can actually, what it will do is buy down to your point A. Buy down to your point B. Do some move up, come down here, then hit the C, then buy up and complete this. Then take a small little drop before it goes to complete its bigger pattern, which is the bearish bat that we saw on the weekly time frame chart. Well, let's go back to the 4 hour. So we know that on the 4 hour, we're entering selling territory right now. We either have our point right here established, the middle of the harmonic pattern, or we're going to have a buy up for a few pips before that occurs. Only time will tell. We have to go to a smaller time frame to check that out. So let's go down to the hour time frame. All right. On the hour time frame, just off of looking at this, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, just to make sure I'm looking at everything as a whole. You want to get yourself the bigger picture always. So on the hour time frame here, what I am seeing is a bullish cipher, okay? And I'm going to plot that out for you right now. If I'm not mistaken, I actually marked this up earlier. Yeah, that's right. All right, so the bullish cipher or bearish cipher means that if it's a bullish cipher, the second peak always takes out the first one. So this is what I mean by that. Here's the start of your bullish cipher. It comes down to your 382 area. I'm gonna just put that right there. And hold on, I want to make sure I'm drawing this cipher out correctly. To do that, I'm going to check one other thing over here. Okay, no, I was right the first way. Sorry, just been on the charts like crazy this week, and that should line up how it should. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I was right the first time. I thought I was. Just had to double check. Nothing wrong with double checking and make sure that you're on point. So anyway, you have what will be a bullish cipher here. Price coming along around to the 382 area, and then has bought up just around the harmonic extension area, the 1.27. As you see that, a cipher will complete itself coming down to around this area here. So it looks ugly, that pattern, but if you look and see how that pattern lines up with point B. And it's the cool thing about harmonic patterns is that they're patterns within patterns. So if you can spot one on the larger time frame and then spot the ones with inside of it, like I said, I'm going to zoom back out to the monthly once I'm done here so that you can see what I mean by the patterns within patterns. Alright, so you have your very ugly, like misshapen, weird, like cipher pattern. But there you go. So, as I was saying, if this was going to go up some more, a cipher pattern will only go up so much more. So we should be seeing a drop now. But again, you still want to always, zoom in some more. So we're going to go down now to the 15-minute chart. So on this one, you see where it's confirming the sell right now that we were seeing to complete on price for the 4-hour. Because right now we have our middle point being established. And this shows that we had a bullish pattern that has to complete itself. And that once it completes, it will buy up. Well, what does that mean is that once it completes and hits here, which aligns with point B here, we will start to see this be completed. The C to the D leg on this harmonic pattern. So now that we have that, let's go down to the 15-minute chart and make sense of what we see there. So Sunday did open up with a gap. Let me see if I can find that gap that it opened up with on Sunday. Oh, here it is. Just found it. It opened up with the gap to the upside. Hold on. Right there. Oh. I don't know why it won't go up and just stay there. Okay. Let me just zoom in. Maybe that'll help. Okay, but you see where I'm just not staying. Okay, it'll stay there. That was the gap. Price closed down here. Okay. And then it had a strange gap, you see. And it's already covered the gap by this sale. It's already covered the gap. But what I also noticed was that you had a really, really long shooting star. Like, probably one of the best shooting stars you'll ever see. This blue candlestick right here, which comes at the end of an uptrend, as it did. And it dropped price down. What you also will notice is that once it did that, it started to create what looks to be also another pattern. Now what I'm seeing here is another shark pattern. And this pattern has already completed itself, but I'll show you. Okay. And well, it's a bearish pattern, so we'll keep it a red bearish color. Okay. This point up here is at the 1.13 move of this. So if you pull out your fibs on the reverse side for this move, aka like an incorrect way to use the fib, hold on. Not necessarily an incorrect way, it's correct when you're doing harmonics. Just to make sure that your pattern is on point. You see how that hits right along the 1.13 like I said, right here? That signifies the shark pattern. Depending on where this point hits and that point hits. But that we have a shark pattern here, okay? So you have that, it's completed, and that's why price is starting to drop from this now. Also, what you'll see is you had another shooting star. The bottom still had like more wick to it, but still nonetheless, the top, the wick takes out the body. So shooting star came at the end of that uptrend and made this downtrend. So now over here, we don't have a shooting star, but we have an indecisive doji, another one, and another one. AKA the buying momentum is dying down. So you have that. And also, I'm going to pull out a tool of mine. Oops, nope. I'm going to pull out a tool of mine of when I don't have time, because I don't really use indicators. I make systems that have indicators, but I don't use them myself when I'm just trading price action. But sometimes if I don't feel like using the RSI and I want to go ahead and quickly spot divergence, I do have an indicator that I use for divergence. So on the 5-minute chart, you have all this divergence right here. So this right here, where you have price making a higher high, but your RSI, if you were using that, stochastic, MACD, or what have you, it is showing lower lows. So with that being said, you have divergence there. So that also signifies that price is moving down. As you see, price is moving down as I'm doing this right now. So I'm about to go ahead and upload this video for any of you that were looking at pound yen and are looking to get in on this trade. Right now will be a good time. You can feel free to follow my free signals channel on Telegram when you see this video. If you're interested in what that and getting added to that, I'll go ahead and add the link so that you can add yourself to it. It is a free signals channel. I give signals at random, so they're not going to be every day, all day kind of a thing. It's when I see something good, I'll put it out there. Typically, it's a trade that I'm in or going to be taking. Also, too, I notate on how I use and don't use stop losses. If I do, it's typically a trailing stop. If I do use a regular stop loss, I use an arbitrary stop loss. See my Telegram signal channel for explanation on what an arbitrary stop loss is. Other than that, happy pipping. This has been Pound Yen. I am the Economy Creator, brought to you by the Economy Creators, and here is your Pound Yen markup for the week. So one last time, I'm going to just run through it so you can see it in totality. Here is your monthly time frame. You have a bearish Gartley. Price is completing right now the C to the D leg. You drop down to your weekly. You have a bearish bat. Price is getting ready to start completing the C to the D leg. On your daily time frame, you had a bearish Elliott wave that has now done its impulse waves. It is now getting ready to do its corrective wave to the A, the B, and the C. If you go down to the 4-hour, you have a bearish bat. Right now, we're making sure that point A establishes itself. Is it going to establish up here, which would be the 50 move of XA, or is it going to just go ahead and complete right here, which is in between the 382 and the 50, and begin to drop? We look at the hour time frame to make more sense of it. What we see on the hour time frame is a bullish shark that is now getting ready to complete its C to the D leg, which is a bearish leg. To make more sense of that, we drop down lower to the 15-minute time frame, on where we have also a bearish shark that has now completed itself and is starting to drop. Prior to that, what we saw earlier from last week and the start of this week was, last week we saw this really big, really nice shooting star. It came at the end of an uptrend, which signifies prices getting ready to retrace or reverse down. What happened after that? It retraced and reversed downward. Then it bought up, only to just create another shooting star, which was now the start of the shark pattern that we have seen completed now. The shark pattern has now completed itself, okay, and it's going down. This area over here was a gap up, which means it had to be closed for the sale. It's done that now. So you have a lot of selling signs right now. We know that we're going to be looking for buys later, but we have to first get done with the completion of our move that we see here. This bullish pattern has to complete itself in order for price to continue to buy. After this pattern completes, it means it will buy afterwards, which works out for us because once it completes itself, it's going to hit around here, point B, for the corrective wave on the daily time frame chart, which is this. Then we're going to have a move up, small move down to the C, which inevitably is going to take price back up. It's going to help to complete this pattern here. It's going to help to complete this pattern here, ultimately to help push up this pattern here. Now, mind you, all this here is going to take a lot more of the little things that we saw on the way up. But we know overall that pound yen is looking to push up to complete this. But in order to do that, it has to first start somewhere. And it's starting here with this move down. All right. So Hope everybody got that. Have any questions, feel free to message me. Understand that I will respond at my earliest convenience. If you're looking for mentorship, you can reach out to me as well. But that's pretty much it. So go ahead and snatch and grab those pips. Have a good day.